Absolutely breaking news at this hour coming from Pro Wrestling Sheet and Ryan Satin. WWE secretly talking with Sinclair Broadcasting about a potential buyout of Ring of Honor. What is the latest and what does Ryan Satin have to say about this report? All this, plus so much more, right here on Off the Script Extra.
Fill your glasses up and put your headphones in, because it's time for Off the Script. And all you fucking goons and assholes, get in line and hit subscribe, because it's time for Off the Script. Hit the like button and share around. You can even pull your fucking pants down, because it's time for Off the Script with JD from New York 206, because it's time for Off the Script, because it's time for Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel, and please pardon my voice. Going hard with those Smackdown vs. Raw 2008 videos, man, so I don't want to blow my voice out completely for the rest of the weekend, but I did upload something earlier today, and I really went all out in the video, so my voice is a little hoarse right now, so I gotta get myself prepared for the long weekend of Off the Script that will be getting you guys the news and rumors. But I had to hop off my couch, man. I had to hop off my couch this evening, and I was in the middle of watching NXT. I was actually in the middle of tweeting, and I was watching a match with Oni Lorcan and Andrade Cien Almas, which we will discuss on the review once I finish this and go back and watch what I missed, and then cover the review for you guys. I don't think we're doing Out of Nowhere tonight, based on a few different things that happened yesterday, but I know Joe is tired as well. He went to the Mohegan Sun and went to Smackdown with Jake, and he's very tired, so that also has something to do with that as well. But I figured, since if we're not doing Out of Nowhere, I might as well get this up. I wanted this video to be for tomorrow afternoon, but this story is so big that I wanted to get it out there kind of before anybody else really makes a video on this. This is a big deal, man. This is a big deal. Ryan Satin, a very, very trusted source in and around the wrestling industry, reporting something that very well could be the ultimate downfall of independent wrestling as we see it, and a complete monopolization of WWE taking over the wrestling industry one by one. Not going to make many people happy, man, with this report. But things tend to fall apart here and there. Not saying this is going to be the end-all, be-all. Ryan Satin is not saying that this is a definite. Talks and negotiations could always fall through. Things could break down at the at the 11th hour. But it's being reported that Sinclair Broadcasting and WWE have been discussing a potential buyout of Ring of Honor since January. We're heading into WrestleMania weekend. They have been discussing since January. And talks are progressing. Slowly, but they are progressing towards a potential buyout. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the entire situation. And Ryan Satin reporting this before anybody else gets a hold of it, man. Ring of Honor being bought out by WWE potentially, and being featured on the WWE Network. All that plus so much more right here on Off the Script. We got a few page notes from the Paige Gate, or the sex leak that was with Paige and Xavier Woods and Brad Maddox. We also got news on Mauro Ranallo. What the fuck is going on with Mauro? Missing Smackdown Live for a second week in a row. Don't know what's going on with that. And Vince McMahon, rumored to be in a car accident right outside the WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. We don't know if Kevin Dunn's teeth were involved. Maybe Kevin Dunn's teeth caused the accident and Vince McMahon got a little worried on his way to the office the other morning. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll fill you in Apparently there was a 911 call that was leaked as well from the scene of Vince McMahon's car accident. Guy is fucking, how old is he? 73? Guy got up and walked away from the accident like nothing happened, man. Vince McMahon clearly will never die. So we're going to talk about that as well. And it's fucked up that some of you, I read in the comment sections, I wish he died for real. Give me a fucking break. Come on, man. Some people, I swear to God, the internet should not exist for those type of people. Seriously. I'm glad Vince McMahon walked out on his own accord, and he's fine, and he made it to the office, and he did his daily duties. We don't need any more fucking tragedy in the world of professional wrestling, especially with what's going on with Jim Ross and his wife. We will be discussing that on Off the Script. If you guys do anything before you listen to this podcast, I want you guys to pray for Jim Ross. Pray for Jim Ross and his wife, Jan. She is in critical condition. She's actually on life support. She was riding home from the gym while Jim Ross was recording his podcast earlier this week, about 30 minutes from his home, and she was struck from behind as she was on her scooter, her motorized scooter, driving home from the gym. She was going back home. She was hit by a 17-year-old driver from behind. She was not wearing a helmet, and she is now in critical condition and on life support. And it's just a very, very sad situation. We'll go over everything on Off the Script. I don't want to bombard you guys with too many stories in this video, but like I said, we will discuss it on Off the Script. And I'm going to read you a blog from Jim Ross about the entire situation. I'm going to put it in with the subscriber stories that I'm going to be doing for this week. Very, very heartfelt. I read it and I teared up, man. It's just a sad story. So if you guys do anything, keep Jim Ross in your prayers and keep his wife in your prayers for a hopeful recovery, man, because this industry sees way too much tragedy and way too much bad things year to year to year. We don't need to add to that. Jim Ross is one of my childhood heroes. Looking up and listening to him every single week during the Attitude Era, he's the reason why I've always wanted to be a commentator. Him along with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Guys like that, man. Very, very sad situation. And keep him and his wife, Jan, in your thoughts this evening as she hopefully makes a recovery from whatever happened, man. Very, very sad situation. I want to thank everybody for listening to the show tonight, man. Unexpected video, but I had to get it to you guys. Thank you for all the love and support all week. I did post a video earlier today. If you guys are into that type of thing, Smackdown vs. Raw 2008 GM mode with my commentary over the matches as I am the unofficial general manager of Smackdown Live. We are going one-on-one or head-to-head with Monday Night Raw and ECW within the game. So if you guys want to check that out, link will be in the annotation that you see in the video. I want to thank everybody for showing love to my sponsors, man. Audible is sponsoring the podcast. As always, this evening, we got 30 days free to try the service out. You guys know the deal, man. It should be up here by now, ingrained in your skulls. 30 days free to try the service out, and that includes one free audiobook compatible with iPhone and Android. And you're going to get one free audiobook of your choice, man. Over 180,000 books to choose from. A lot of those are wrestling related, and if you don't want wrestling, there's a ton of shit on there that I'm sure you will find interesting, man. You guys can even cash in on the new book coming out on April 4th. AJ Lee, Crazy is My Superpower. I actually found out today that Ryback, good old Ryback, the big guy, has a book out. And it's a motivational book. So if you guys need some motivation during your weeks, don't know why you'd go to Ryback, but it's there. It's available for download. You could use your free token. You could use your free book on Ryback if you so choose. Or over 180,000 books to choose from, man. Doesn't got to be Ryback. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Once again, that's audibletrial.com/offthescript. Do it today, man. And no matter if you guys cancel the service before the 30 days is up, you get to keep your audiobook for free. Awesome deal. Take advantage of it. Audible's fucking awesome. And thank you guys for supporting Audible, man. We had a lot of signups in the last 3 days. Let's keep that going, man. Thank you guys so much. Another great way to support the show is patreon.com/JD from NY206. Early access to Off the Script. Exclusive Discord chat link with all my patrons, man. There's over 60 people in the Discord chat right now talking WWE. So if you guys want to chat with like-minded, respectful WWE fans that are my patrons, you guys can get access to that as well, man. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. We're going to do another round of shout-outs because you guys are absolutely fucking killing it this month. Another round of shout-outs coming on Off the Script this Friday just to show you guys how much I love each and every one of you, man. You're making my dreams come true day by day, and I love each and every one of you. Another great way you guys can support the show, Barbershop Window, man. Get your t-shirts. 9 different designs. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. We are an official partner of Barbershop Window. They proudly support this podcast. 9 different designs, $19.99 for each shirt, and they ship worldwide, man. Another great way to support the show. Get your t-shirts and represent the #1 fucking podcast in your subscription boxes right here on youtube.com. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so much. Let's get on with this story, man. Pro Wrestling Sheet and Ryan Satin breaking the news as always. Shout out to Ryan Satin. Quickly becoming one of my favorite news reporters and editors in the wrestling industry, man. Breaks the news like that, quick. Pro Wrestling Sheet has learned WWE and Sinclair Broadcasting have recently discussed a potential buyout of Ring of Honor in secret. This is according to his sources. Multiple sources with direct knowledge tell us the companies have been talking since January and things have slowly been progressing with the plan of being a full takeover, pun intended, if the deal is made official. This would include the weekly television show beginning to air on the WWE Network. No word at this point on whether every wrestler on the roster would continue working in Ring of Honor if that does indeed happen. Keep in mind, there's no actual deal on the table right now, and discussions are simply that, discussions. This means the buyout could always fall through if both sides cannot agree on specifics. Case in point, WWE had discussions with TNA last year when they were going through rough seas with Dixie Carter and Billy Corgan. WWE rumored to buy out TNA. That didn't happen. WWE then rumored to buy out the tape library. That didn't happen. At that point, WWE said, fuck this shit. We're not getting our hands dirty with the bullshit that is Impact Wrestling. Obviously, that buyout never came to be. Representatives for WWE and Ring of Honor at this hour declined to comment further on this developing story. This is going to make a lot of people unhappy, man. And it's just the way that WWE is conducting business in 2017. They want their hands in everything. Unless there is a full global takeover, WWE and their hunger will not be satisfied, man. Ring of Honor is, to me anyway, in the United States, the only other place that gives a superstar an option for work in the United States. You got NXT, but sometimes WWE, for whatever reason, doesn't sign someone like a Moose, who had prior bullshit on his record. They didn't want to bring him in. Apparently, there was something where he attacked his girlfriend. He went to TNA. TNA gladly took him on board. He's doing his thing over in TNA. Ring of Honor was another option for wrestlers to go if WWE didn't want to sign somebody now for a specific reason and they wanted to wait on signing that specific individual. They always had a fallback in Ring of Honor, or you could go to TNA, but with the way things are looking at with TNA, who the fuck wants to go over there right now? They're alienating everybody in the fucking business with the bullshit that they're putting Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy through, and Rebby. Who the fuck wants to go over there? Literally alienating not only their workers within the United States. Who the fuck wants to go there if you're seeing the bullshit that they're pulling with 2 of their top talents or 2 of their former top talents? If you're a superstar there, clearly you don't agree with what's going on here. Ring of Honor was a great option within the United States, or it still is a great option within the United States. This deal is nowhere near done. And like Ryan Satin said, this deal could fall apart. Look at Ring of Honor, man. They have lost a ton of guys, or about to lose a ton of guys if they don't do something fairly quickly. You know, Kyle O'Reilly's name's been out there for months. For months. We don't know what's going on with Kyle O'Reilly. Everybody says, well, if he's been floating around out there, more than likely, that means he's WWE bound. Kyle O'Reilly could be WWE bound. We've been hearing Adam Cole's name being thrown around for months. He's coming to the WWE, more than likely, in May. His contract's up with ROH in May. He just got kicked from the Bullet Club. He lost the World Championship to Christopher Daniels in Las Vegas. Bully Ray put him through a table. All signs point to WWE if you're Adam Cole after all that. You know, I'm hearing Dalton Castle is going to be a free agent within a month or two. Probably around the same time as Adam Cole. Everybody's saying that Ring of Honor needs to square up Dalton Castle. Sign Dalton Castle. People that I listen to, people that I read, say that Dalton Castle is a potential Ring of Honor world champion. That he would succeed greatly if they gave him a shot at the top. Bobby Fish. I'm hearing Bobby Fish, which I thought he signed with Ring of Honor. I thought he re-upped with Ring of Honor. And I'm hearing his contract's up in about 3-4 weeks. And you're talking about Kyle O'Reilly coming into the WWE. A lot of people, you know, are very iffy on Kyle O'Reilly coming into NXT. They feel like it's going to be another Roderick Strong situation. Man with great talent, but zero fucking charisma and personality. Guy can put on a great match, but is not going to connect on his own with the WWE Universe. Bobby Fish comes in. You can pair the two and make them a tag team. WWE clearly needs tag teams in NXT. That's one of their real issues right now with NXT as a whole, tag teams. So if you can find Kyle O'Reilly and pair him with somebody and bring them in as a unit, as a duo, that could work well for NXT. Jay Lethal just signed 2 years. They exclusively signed Jay Lethal to a 2-year deal in Ring of Honor. The Young Bucks re-signed with Ring of Honor. But it seems like once Ring of Honor does something right and squares up and re-ups some of their top talent, a majority of their other talent just gets up and leaves. I'm hearing Leo Rush is leaving Ring of Honor as well. I had the pleasure of calling Leo Rush's matches with House of Glory. Guy's phenomenal. Guy is phenomenal. He would be unbelievable in NXT. So, Ring of Honor right now, don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Don't know what's going on. Maybe they just don't want to shell out the cash for all this talent. And that's why the talent's leaving. The talent wants to be compensated, and Sinclair Broadcasting might not. You know, I can't believe that they don't have the funds. Maybe it's just something that they don't want to do anymore. Maybe it's something that they don't want to do. And clearly, if Sinclair is talking with WWE about a potential buyout, clearly it's something that they don't have full interest in anymore. Their heart is not there. Their passion for Ring of Honor is not there anymore. On top of that, Kevin Kelly's gone. You got Nigel McGuinness gone. Ring of Honor lost a lot of people. A lot of individuals over the last 6 months. You know, the Young Bucks and Jay Lethal aren't going to cover all the losses that they are about to see within the coming weeks. It's not. And you really can't blame WWE. You can blame WWE all you want, but it's not going to get you anywhere. And this all has to do with the direction and the initiative brought in by Triple H. Look at what he did with the United Kingdom. They want a piece of that. We still don't know what's going on with the United Kingdom. We got Tyler Bate as the UK champion. He's just floating around out there with no challengers. They got Pete Dunne. They got Mark Andrews. They got Trent Seven. They got Wolfgang. They got Tyler Bate. They got these guys, and they're not doing anything. After that tournament, we haven't seen or heard from really any of them. We've seen a couple of matches with Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, Trent Seven. You know, it is what it is. But WWE is probably going to end up bringing those guys to the main roster or putting them down in NXT. Because we don't have any idea what's going on with the UK initiative and what Triple H and William Regal want to do with that entire brand and that championship. And now look at what they're potentially planning here in the United States. It all has to do with Triple H's direction. Ring of Honor is a breeding ground for WWE superstars. You don't even understand how many superstars came from Ring of Honor that are thriving in WWE or right now are at the top of the WWE food chain. CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, Austin Aries, Seth Rollins, guys like that. And I'm probably sure I miss Kevin Owens. I'm sure Shinsuke Nakamura dabbled in Ring of Honor here and there. Roderick Strong. Look how many guys. Look how many guys that are in WWE working their way up the ladder or right now are at the top of the ladder. Ring of Honor has produced several world champions in the last couple of years, man. Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk. That's a lot of top-tier talent, man. That's a lot of top-tier talent. Samoa Joe now finally getting his break at 38 years old on the main roster. Austin Aries experiencing his first WrestleMania, challenging for the Cruiserweight Championship. Whether or not you think that's important or not, who gives a shit? It's Austin Aries' first WrestleMania. Austin Aries, 6 months ago, was probably not even on the radar for WrestleMania. Now he's in a high-profile match with one of the best in the business, Neville, fighting over the Cruiserweight Championship in front of 80,000 people when he was merely a commentator. Before that, he was mixed in with NXT guys down at NXT. He was going to be the future piece of NXT or a future piece of NXT. Now he's on the main stage at WrestleMania. Ring of Honor is a breeding ground for WWE talent. Might as well go all the way with it. Buy them out. Now, if they do buy them out, I don't see WWE putting Ring of Honor on television. I see them picking and choosing. I see them cherry picking the guys that they want. I see them cherry picking the guys that they want, and I see them having them report to NXT. There's no reason to keep Ring of Honor open. There's no reason to keep Ring of Honor open. If you have the Performance Center and you have Ring of Honor's direct competition in NXT, there's no reason for it. Why is WWE going to have more production costs? Why is WWE going to add another set of dates for their probably already overworked staff to produce Ring of Honor television? Why? I don't understand. I don't understand why that would be necessary. Ring of Honor, if WWE buys out Ring of Honor, they are dead. There's no reason for them to keep them alive. Just like they were not going to keep TNA live if they bought them out. They're going to buy them out, and they're going to cherry pick the talent that they want. And they're all going to report to Orlando. They're all going to walk through the Performance Center, and they're all going to report to NXT. And WWE, instead of having all these guys go through the phase and go through Ring of Honor and then come to WWE, these guys are going to go right to NXT. There's not going to be any middleman right now. Ring of Honor, to me, has always been that middleman. It's always been that middleman. It's WWE, NXT, or WWE Ring of Honor, and then NXT. Which way you going to go? That's it. It's either Ring of Honor is dead, which it will be, or they're going to go to NXT. That's it. This is potentially damaging to fans of the product. Either way you look at it, you're gonna have to hop on board the WWE network. I don't know why you're not buying the network. I don't know why you're not subscribed to the network, period. I mean, it's a fucking unbelievable value. Whether you hate the company or not, everybody that you are used to seeing on Ring of Honor, you better get used to seeing them in WWE. Because several of these guys that are in that company right now, they are going to be the future of Raw and SmackDown, whether you believe it or not. Whether you loathe WWE, whether you hate WWE, most of your favorites from Ring of Honor right now who are up and coming, they will be future pieces to the draft. They will be future pieces of Raw and SmackDown. Ring of Honor will be dead. There's no reason for WWE to keep these guys open. Everybody will report to NXT. The guys that they don't want, goodbye. Go find work elsewhere. Independent wrestling is thriving right now. I'm sure you guys can find work overseas. Go to TNA. I'm sure TNA will open the door for you. They're in a rebranding phase. Ring of Honor is dead. If this is the truth, Ring of Honor will not be premiering on the WWE Network. Ring of Honor will be dead, and WWE NXT will reap the benefits, and they will be feasting on all the talent that is Ring of Honor. Just the way it is. And I feel sorry for everybody that's a fan. I mean, if I was a diehard fan of Ring of Honor, I'd be pretty upset with this news, man. But this is the way the business. This is Triple H's initiative. This is Triple H's doing, man. his global takeover. You know, it's a coincidence that NXT's pay-per-views or special events are called NXT Takeover. And whatever city they go to, Orlando, Miami, Dallas, San Francisco, Seattle, whatever. You know, it's funny that it's aptly named Takeover. Because Triple H and his direction and his initiative is taking over the world of professional wrestling. NXT, I told you, and I've been preaching this. You know, I had no prior news of this situation. I've been preaching this, man. NXT will look like a completely different brand by the end of 2017. And this just adds to that speculation. It's coming, man. Now, I'm not saying that it's 100%. Deals can fall apart. Money is a big thing here. You know, Ring of Honor is not going to give up Ring of Honor without getting something back in return. They're looking for the funds. And I honestly feel if Sinclair Broadcasting is willing to talk to WWE about selling the entire company with a complete buyout, their passion for Ring of Honor and their heart for Ring of Honor is just not there anymore. That could be the reason why they're letting guys like Adam Cole go. They're letting guys, you know, with contracts like Dalton Castle and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly and all these guys just get up and go. You know, they just don't feel like it's worth it anymore. That's my first opinion on it. That's my first thought. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this. Ring of Honor potentially being bought out by WWE. NXT could look vastly, vastly different at the end of 2017. Let me know what you guys are thinking about everything down below in the comments of this video. Vince McMahon involved in a minor car accident. Kevin Dunn not involved in the car accident. I wish he was. No news on his teeth or not, or if his teeth caused the accident. Maybe he was maybe he had the windows down and he was getting some fresh air. Hey Vince, the breeze is so good on my teeth, and the wind is blowing in his face, and you know they started dragging on the floor and they popped the tire. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but apparently Vince McMahon didn't have the best day Tuesday, as he reportedly was involved in a minor car accident around WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. I wish I was walking down the street, walking down from Starbucks, seeing Vince McMahon. Hey, Vince! Roman Reigns sucks. I would have yelled something out like that. I don't know. The story was first reported by TMZ, saying that they contacted local law enforcement agencies. According to TMZ, Vince was seen walking around after the incident like a fucking beast. Our sources say, TMZ, say the whole thing was a minor accident and everyone is okay. Vince's Bentley isn't in the best shape, but the important thing is that everyone involved is okay. And that was pretty much it. No one was seriously hurt. As for Vince's car, Vince can afford anything he wants. I'm sure the insurance will cover it. And to be perfectly honest with you, man, Connecticut was just as bad with the snow as New York was. So it could have been something like that. You know, maybe it was still very icy conditions. It's been fucking freezing here in New York, man. It could have still been, you know, leftover ice, black ice. We don't know exactly what happened. All we know and all that is being reported is that Vince McMahon was involved in a minor car accident. He did get out from the vehicle. Everything is okay. His Bentley isn't in the best shape right now, but he did walk away on his own 2 feet. He is perfectly fine. He went to attend to his normal activities in the office soon after, and nobody was hurt, man. So that is the latest on Vince McMahon. We have news on... I want to talk about the Hardy situation, that they've been offered contracts with WWE. We'll save that for Off the Script on Friday. I will talk about that on Off the Script. Mauro Ranallo. This is something I want to talk about. Mauro Ranallo, if you guys watch SmackDown Live, was not on SmackDown again for a second week in a row. In fact, Mauro Ranallo hasn't tweeted anything since March 14th. So we don't know what's going on. 1 week he missed the show due to the weather, and that was actually the last day he tweeted, saying that he might not be able to make it due to the nor'easter that was Stella that hit the East Coast early last week. But where is Mauro Ranallo? This week they used the excuse that he wasn't feeling well, that he was sick. Now, some people who listen to this show who reside in the same town that Mauro does in Canada actually commented on, I forgot what video it was, but some people who are in and around Mauro's part of the area in Canada are saying that some illnesses are going around, that it's terribly cold, and it could be that Mauro is legit sick. I did report last week on Off the Script that Mauro does suffer from bipolar disease, and he does suffer from depression. So I don't know what is going on with that. I didn't hear anything else in regards to that at all with Mauro Ranallo. But where did he go? Where did he go? I said 1 week is okay. If he misses the show for 1 week, whether he's sick, whether he doesn't feel good, it's fine. If he misses 2 weeks in a row, that's when we have to start raising our eyebrows, and that's when we have to start raising the question, what the fuck's going on? Because I am a huge fan of what Mauro Ranallo brings to the table. He might not be everybody's cup of coffee. He's loud, he's rambunctious, he's over the top, mamma mia, always with his fucking puns, you know? But it would be very difficult for me to say that WWE has anybody on that roster right now, as far as commentators go, that are going to be able to take his job. I cannot say that. You guys go watch the Cruiserweight Classic last year with the work he and Daniel Bryan did, and tell me the man didn't do a spectacular job calling that fucking tournament with Daniel Bryan. That made Mauro Ranallo, for me, it made me a bigger fan of his work, because he was absolutely fucking fantastic, and so was Daniel Bryan. That entire tournament was. Everything from the commentating to the action for the 10 weeks was simply brilliant. But Mauro, nobody's going to be able to replace him on Smackdown Live. You can tell, and I mentioned this on Off the Script. I mentioned this. Tom Phillips, I don't mind Tom Phillips. I don't. I listen to him every week on NXT. That's his bread and butter. To me, Tom Phillips is NXT. I don't mind Tom Phillips in NXT. I do mind Tom Phillips on SmackDown Live. I do. Because Tom Phillips is not Mauro Ranallo. Tom Phillips, to me, is not ready to replace a Mauro Ranallo. But if WWE is getting rid of Mauro Ranallo, like everybody thinks, then they really have no choice. Tom Phillips is going to be doing double duty with SmackDown and NXT. But I hope this is not the end of Mauro's run in the WWE. Not since Jim Ross have we seen a commentator that has been so great for what is happening in the ring. Mauro Ranallo brings all of that plus more to the table, man. He makes you fucking care about what's happening in the ring. He makes you care, and all the action comes to life when he's there. It's very difficult to do, man. That's very difficult to do. And the man's smart. The man is witty. The man knows his wrestling. Why wouldn't you want him calling your show? Mauro Ranallo is the #1 commentator for WWE. Mauro Ranallo should be on Monday Night Raw. Mauro Ranallo should be the voice of WWE. Forget a Michael Cole. He should be the voice of WWE. But where the fuck did he go? Over the last couple of months, there have been a number of commentators come into the WWE. A lot of ones that really don't need to be there, like David Otunga and Percy Watson. Nigel McGuinness replaced Corey Graves on NXT. But that I don't mind too much. I like Nigel McGuinness very much. Since earlier this year, the show has featured Ranallo, Otunga, Bradshaw, Phillips, and that's been their regular commentary team. However, this has changed in recent weeks. Ranallo was missing the show again this past Tuesday, with an explanation of him being out sick. This comes a week after Ranallo missed last week's show due to the weather, after Dave Meltzer reported that Ranallo didn't miss the show due to the weather. That could have been overly, I would say that could have been avoided. Most certainly could have been avoided. Ranallo knew where SmackDown was going to be. He could have beat the storm and been in the city before the storm hit. So if he wanted to be there, he certainly could have been there. So Dave Meltzer said, listen, Mauro Ranallo didn't miss the show due to the fucking weather. Okay? And then Taz got on him about it. Josh Matthews got on him about it. Taz brought up the situation. Well, me and Michael Cole, we braced blizzards and fucking this and that, terrible weather, hours and hours and hours on the road, and we got to every single show. We never missed one. And they put him down for it. But even those guys don't know the full details. So they're jumping the gun on Mauro Ranallo, and they're inadvertently and unfairly criticizing him for missing one show when we don't know the full story. There is no word on if Mauro's job is in jeopardy, but it certainly seems that something could be up. Ranallo, a very frequent tweeter, hasn't made a single social media post in over a week. Rumor going around also is that UFC doesn't have Mike Goldberg to do their play-by-play anymore. They were thinking about, or maybe have even swayed Mauro Ranallo to join their broadcast team with Joe Rogan. Mauro Ranallo could be the new voice, the new play-by-play man for Ultimate Fighting. So we don't know if that's true or not either. You know, I heard Mauro Ranallo's been in hot water. I heard that, you know, people have called him out on making mistakes. People even use the excuse that Mauro Ranallo felt a little threatened. He felt off his game with so many commentators out there. They felt that Tom Phillips was maybe throwing him off his game because the way Mauro sees it, and I know I would see it if I was Mauro, is this guy's going to be the one to replace me. Why is he sitting out here every fucking week? I don't need this guy. I don't need this guy. Mauro frequently calling the Elimination Chamber Hell in a Cell. Mauro messing up certain wrestlers' names. He called Kurt Hawkins Chad Hawkins. Little shit like that. But you're allowed as a commentator, especially if you're in a live environment, to make a mistake or two. Nobody's going to be perfect. What I don't like is that WWE may be pushing this guy out. And it seems like WWE has this thing with commentators, man. Their commentator game isn't really up to par. You know, they got rid of Jim Ross because he was too old. There's nobody better than Jim Ross. Nobody. Jim Ross in his 60s and his 70s, no matter if he's not a fitting image of what the company wants, still the best play-by-play guy that there is. Mauro Ranallo certainly fits the image that they're looking for. He's youthful. He's not old. He's in with the times. He's up with, you know, social media and Twitter. He's, you know, on top of the game with current events, always making a pun here or there. Mauro Ranallo is the perfect play-by-play guy for WWE. Like I said, he makes everything come to life. Nobody puts that much enthusiasm. If you're a Michael Cole, a Byron Saxton, all these guys are fucking boring. Boring. You know what? When I watch Tom Phillips on Smackdown, I hear dull, boring, and not Mauro Ranallo. I feel like I'm watching a TNA program. I feel like I'm watching a subpar commentator on a big league show. You need a big league commentator for a big league show. Tom Phillips is not ready yet. Tom Phillips is not ready to be promoted from NXT. I don't think he deserves that spot yet. Not saying that he's not going to ever be deserving, but you're not going to replace Mauro Ranallo. You're not. And I hope everything is okay. Now, if we see him gone next week on the Go Home show, then I'm just going to give up this story and Mauro's gone. Mauro's gone. And if we don't see him at WrestleMania, you guys know what's up. Mauro is done with the WWE, but nobody knows. Dave Meltzer has held back on reporting anything more. He's held back. He doesn't want to let the cat out of the bag yet. People are speculating that Dave Meltzer knows, and Dave Meltzer threw out the UFC thing, and he threw out the fact that Mauro didn't miss SmackDown due to the weather. People are saying that Meltzer knows more, but he's not ready to let people know what's up yet because he doesn't want to leak anything yet. I'm guessing he's going in accordance with what WWE wants. I don't know. But Mauro Ranallo certainly missed the last 2 weeks, and if he's gone completely, he ain't going to replace Mauro Ranallo on SmackDown Live. Let's see what else we got here, man. I want to cover a few more stories. There were a few more things that I did want to go over here. Natalya Neidhart is going to be inducting Beth Phoenix into the Hall of Fame. John Cena is going to be inducting Kurt Angle into the WWE Hall of Fame. There is a rumor about Emma. I want to go over this. Good thing I went through my notes. I didn't see this the first time around. Emma, you guys know Emma is coming back to the WWE. She was Emelina. They dropped that after 100 and some odd days. Now she's going back to Emma. The current plan for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and yes, I said SmackDown Women's Championship and Emma in the same story. The plan for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania is to do a match where every woman on the roster provided they are on the blue brand, of course, is qualified to enter the match. In recent weeks, people have heard that WWE is thinking about bringing back former champions such as Victoria and Kelly for the match. And it looks like Kelly will definitely be at WrestleMania. Now it appears that 2 more women are being considered for the match, as Cage Side Seats is reporting that WWE is thinking about adding Summer Rae and Emma to the match. Of course, Emma debuted the Emelina character several weeks ago on Raw, and then it got scrapped for the reason that WWE officials felt like Emma was not the right girl for the role, that she wasn't putting her heart into the role. Well, of course she wasn't feeling the fucking role. You took something that was you took something that she was making successful, and you gave her something that she didn't want to do completely. Of course her heart's not going to be in the role. So they might actually be saving that role for a returning Kelly, who is rumored to be signing a 3-year deal with the WWE. WWE is teasing that Emma will re-debut on Raw at some point in the future, but that could be to throw people off. So they'll be surprised when she shows up during the Smackdown Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. I would love to see Emma on Smackdown, but to be perfectly honest with you, Monday Night Raw and their women's division needs to be taken care of first. SmackDown's women's division has been off a little the last couple of weeks because of the directionless women's program that they have going into WrestleMania. And Naomi's coming back. You don't want to overload the women on SmackDown. SmackDown is okay where they are at right now. And if you got Victoria and Summer Rae and Kelly coming back, some of those women you could put on Monday Night Raw. Emma could be a better fit on Raw than she is on SmackDown. SmackDown's got an overloaded women's roster right now. Clearly, SmackDown's doing better things with their women's roster than Monday Night Raw is. Don't take away from Raw anymore. They need to step up their game. They need talent. They need names. Emma would be better on Monday Night Raw. And Summer Rae is drafted to Monday Night Raw. Summer Rae could have a great run on Monday Night Raw if she's given the chance. She had a decent run in NXT. The woman could wrestle. She's got a great look. So I don't see why WWE will not use her if she does come back to the WWE from her injury. So I don't understand what's going on with that. And quickly, guys, I want to go over this as well. The latest on this Paige story. I don't want to talk about this in depth anymore. You guys know my opinion. Off the Script this past weekend, part 2 of Off the Script. If you guys want my opinion on the entire Paige sex leak with Xavier Woods and Brad Maddox. But word is right now that WWE is understandably freaking out about the Paige situation internally. There was a backstage meeting at Monday Night Raw about the entire situation. Now, we all know The Rock has a movie coming out with Paige about her life and her family's life in the wrestling business, not just because of the movie that WWE is funding with The Rock that is inspired by her, but because there is so much worry about what else could leak in the future. Paige has had romantic relationships, and this is exclusive from Wrestling News World, by the way. Paige has had romantic relationships with over a dozen current and former WWE superstars, including guys that are married and guys that are scheduled for major WrestleMania main events. Really gets you thinking there. Really gets you raising the eyebrows. Who could it be? Who could have been involved with Paige over the years and could be in harm's way with this entire hack sex leak? You know, makes you wonder. Who's in a major WrestleMania main event? Randy Orton. Randy Orton's married. Has a child on the way. Or had a child. Right? Newborn. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is no stranger to controversy when it comes to social media. You know, maybe Roman Reigns. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man, but it doesn't look good right now for WWE. There are over 50 videos that could potentially leak in the future showing Paige and others in very compromising situations. WWE is currently working with law enforcement to track down these responsible in hopes of preventing more leaks, but they haven't fully ascertained yet just how much material has been compromised. The situation is obviously embarrassing and humiliating for those involved, but so far the biggest star featured is Xavier Woods. This becomes a far more damaging ordeal if the videos or photo leak of Paige with talent much higher on the card. Now, to continue on. For privacy reasons, we here at Wrestling News World, they say, shouldn't name names in terms of who might wind up in future videos, as WWE is doing everything possible to try and protect those people and prevent the videos from leaking. But needless to say, with WrestleMania around the corner, the timing of potential leaks could be catastrophic for WWE. While there's been on and off talks with Hulk Hogan about a surprise appearance at WrestleMania, right now Vince is leaning against it. Triple H is against it as well. Common for Vince and Triple H to butt heads on several topics, but they are together and unified right now on the Hulk Hogan situation, and that it's too soon to bring Hulk back to the WWE. Something that doesn't help Hogan's cause is that with Paige's sex tapes leaking, and more sex tapes leaking possible at any point in the coming weeks, Vince and Triple H both feel it's even a worse time to bring Hogan back, which will inevitably lead to stories covering his sex tape issues. WWE tries to be family-friendly programming. It's their biggest time of the year with the biggest show of the year in 2 weeks. And the last thing they need is more sex tape talk that can be avoided by not working with Hulk Hogan right now. That is the latest on Paige. Her mental status right now. There was a story that her mother was freaking out on social media. That Paige's mother was having a mental breakdown on social media. She even posted a Facebook update. Her mother and her father posted a Facebook update. Let me read this before we get out of here. I cannot lose my little girl. The whole family has taken so much shit, being blasted from all angles, but none of this is worth it. There is a broken soul here. I am on verge of breaking over this, and I cannot deal with this anymore. We are crushed. I really don't know how much more I can take. Well done to those that thought this was a great idea. Well done to those tagging us in pics and videos. You've done what you wanted to do. Let's hope to God you don't take from me one of my most treasured gifts, meaning her daughter. And her father, or I think her brother, this might be her brother, I'm not sure who this is. Ricky Knight, my last day on the scandal surrounding my daughter. This is her father. My last day on the scandal surrounding my daughter. I have just spoken to her over Facebook, and I'm worried for her mental health, or worse, for fuck's sake. World, please get a grip. She has not killed anyone, robbed anyone. She was having sex in a private situation between consulting adults, and then has been betrayed by some lowlifes as her dad, purge and try to get people to back off. As I say, I am very worried for her. It will be no good backing her when it's too late, like many other celebrities who have left us. So, obviously, there is concern from her family over her mental status. It is a fucked up situation. WWE will not be taking any action against anybody involved in these videos. They actually poked fun of it with Xavier Woods on Monday Night Raw with that whole skit that they did backstage with the ice cream cart. So nobody is going to be punished in the WWE regarding this situation. WWE is a PG company, even though the hack was not the fault of anybody involved. Woods, Maddox, Paige. WWE has sponsors and other things to worry about as a company. It would be a terrible PR move if they got rid of Paige and didn't fire Xavier Woods. Brad Maddox, nobody cares about him. He's not employed anymore. He was more over that afternoon than he was in his entire WWE run. But nobody will be reprimanded and nobody will be punished with this entire scandal. The only thing that could get Paige in trouble is the picture floating around with her and Brad Maddox desecrating the NXT Women's Championship. That's the only thing that could get her in trouble because that is company property, and that is totally not a good look for anybody. So right now, as it stands, Backstage News is nobody will be punished for what happened or what was leaked. WWE is not blaming anybody, but the only thing that could potentially be troublesome for Paige is that picture floating around with the NXT Women's Championship. I actually did not see that photo until it was too late after I did Off the Script. So I seen that a few days after, and I'm like, holy shit. I just said my piece here that I don't think Paige should be blamed. You got to blame her for that. That's just stupid. I'm not blaming her for the leak, but that's company property that you're desecrating. If there's anything that they could reprimand her for, it could be based on that one picture alone. So, right now, nobody is being punished. And that's all I got as far as news. If you guys want more news off the script, this Friday, big stories. I got news on Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg, what WWE is actually thinking about putting on at the main event of WrestleMania. And it's not Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar for the WWE Universal Championship. I got news on the Broken Hardys, and I got more news on Ring of Honor and talents leaving, possibly for NXT. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed the video tonight, I know it's a late upload, but please share it around, show some support. Thank you guys so much for everything. If you guys want to support the show, Patreon, Barbershop Window, and audibletrial.com/offthescript for your t-shirts. It's barbershopwindow.com/offthescript and patreon.com/JD from NY206. I am indeed JD. Hit that thumbs up. If you missed any of my videos this week, link will be in the annotation at the top right of your screen, wherever you are viewing, mobile, PC, it'll be there. Drop down, it'll take you right to the video that you might have missed this week. Raw review, Smackdown review, and Smackdown vs. Raw 2008 GM mode is there right now live for you guys, man. Thank you guys so much. I will see you all tomorrow morning with NXT review, and then Friday for Off the Script, episode 162, to start your weekend off the right way, man. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you all for NXT.